Besides the continual, relentless process of dominating DC fast charger implementation in raw numbers, far exceeding everyone else in the industry, basically requiring everyone else besides the Tesla Supercharger team to be combined to make a second place position, besides all that, which is what Tesla Supercharger is famous for, their unrelenting pursuit of complete and utter resource domination in the DC fast charger space, there's been a couple of marquee locations that have had some significant progress made on them. Let's go ahead and get into the update. Okay, let's go over these marquee locations that are starting to make progress as something to hang our hats on for coming in 2025. The first of which is the Tesla Diner, and this has been very slow in coming, and it's been excruciating watching the progress occurring, but they're taking their time and being very deliberate because it's a technical feat to get this place opened. Not only are they providing charging stalls, they're providing food and multiple drive-in movie screens, which is a completely unique concept for an electric vehicle charging station. But it makes sense, why would you not want to kick back with some popcorn and watch a movie while your car is getting some electrons? It's a really novel idea, and I definitely applaud them for coming up with it. It's at 7001 Santa Monica Boulevard, as I said, in West Hollywood. And according to Sawyer on X, the chef has been selected, a gentleman by the name of Eric Greenspan. He pioneered a delivery-only restaurant model, so it kind of makes sense that in a diner environment, someone with those credentials would be selected. Plus, he's got the feather in his cap of being able to claim that he beat Bobby Flay on Iron Chef. So there's that in the positive ring as well. So we have some soon-to-be well-crafted menu items coming to the Tesla Diner once we see it actually open for business, with someone like Eric Greenspan at the helm of the culinary efforts. Secondly, All Set on X visited the Tesla Diner, and we see that dispensers are actually in the ground. Now, when you build a EV charging station, there's something called plaza work, which is like the running the conduit and then covering it all up with asphalt or concrete or something like that. And the plaza work is not completed near all the stalls. It is completed near the stalls near the diner, but there's other areas that still have to be completed. So it's likely several months away. I find that when you see that the plaza work is not complete, they have to go through multiple iterations of additional inspections and things like that. Then they also have to get the station energized with the transformer and the final business license issued and things like that. So several months away, but at least we see some very significant progress. And we also see canopies going up with solar voltaic panels getting put in them, which is very common for Tesla. When they do put in canopies, generally they're solar voltaic canopies that are providing grid-tied feedback of, I think what they do is they take the solar voltaic and they feed it back into the grid in order to offset the electrical costs for the station to some extent, and also provide, obviously, protection from the elements, both the sun and the rain. And so we see these superstructures for solar voltaic canopies going in. We also see one solar voltaic canopy already looks like it's complete. The dispensers, as I said, are in the ground, and so it shouldn't be too much longer. I would imagine either very close to the 4th of July or just on the other side of the 4th of July, we should probably expect to have people charging at the Tesla Diner in West Hollywood. All that's good to look forward to. Additionally, there's a largest Tesla supercharger station in the world. Now, Tesla superchargers operate in APAC, in Europe, and in North America, all the way down into Mexico and all the way up into Canada, across the United States. So large stations are not out of their playbook, but this one outdoes them all, even for Tesla. They're putting in 200 stalls in a location called Yeehaw Junction, which has the claim to fame of being the location on the American interstate system farthest away from a adjacent exit, both going north and south. So it wins the record. The furthest is at Yeehaw Junction, I believe, going south, and then the second furthest is Yeehaw Junction going north. And which makes it a great location for a very large charging station. I believe once you hit the first exit, it's 192 in Kissimmee, which takes you to everyone's favorite vacation destination in Orlando. But the size of the station outdoes even other Tesla supercharger stations in sheer numbers. They're talking 200 stalls. And according to the site plans, which were provided by Marco RP off X and then put into PlugShare, and Marco is very famous for finding permitting for Tesla supercharger stations. And he's very proficient at that. And the plans here appear to be calling out a facility restroom attached with 2 different buildings. So 200 stalls plus restrooms right off Yeehaw Junction's exit in Central Florida with and when I say right off, it's the first property as you get off the exit. So terrific location, and having amenities is definitely nice. That didn't happen at the new station in, I think it's not Bakersfield. Where was it? It's escaping me. Somewhere in California where they just put in a 128 stall station that didn't have any facilities. So this one actually does look to be getting facilities that are operated by Tesla put in. And there's 2 additional very large stations going into I-5 that also have facilities being put in. One in Bakersfield and one in Lost Hills that are both getting facilities as well. So that seems to be the new thing in Tesla Supercharger's playbook, where when they put in a large station, they also attach restroom facilities. So the news here is not that that station is going in, but that it has now been, according to PlugShare, spotted under construction. So the construction has commenced. Now, I don't think the station will be done in 2025. It's going to take a while to get this station built. I mean, 200 stalls doesn't go in overnight. But the Tesla Supercharger team does have the ability to exceed expectations with implementation timelines. So conceivably, it might be open in 2025. But I think 2026 is a more realistic expectation for when the station will be open. But it now apparently has been spotted under construction just this past week. Lastly, for the UFO capital of the United States, Roswell, New Mexico, Marco RP also spotted on permitting a new canopy going in to a Tesla supercharger station in Roswell. And my wife and I took a trip for our anniversary to the Grand Canyon National Park, and on the way back, she's like, let's go to Roswell. And I was like kind of against it. I'm like, it's out of the way, and we're on a clock. And so I conceded and we went, and it's actually a ton of fun. Roswell is a pretty big town. I kind of pictured it as a small desert town. But it's actually about 65,000 people, and I think one of the reasons why it's so populous is because there's water there, and in the desert, having water is a big plus for population growth. So, a pretty large community, and they have all amenities. They've got restaurants, and shopping is a pretty vibrant community. So it definitely makes sense to put in a supercharger there, but they're not going to put in a supercharger that just looks like every other supercharger. You can't do that in Roswell. That wouldn't be right. So instead, they came up with a themed canopy instead of their rather sterile stainless steel and solar voltaic solutions that they've come up with for other locales with the Tesla branding on it. They made one that is a little bit more stylistic, of futuristic, and people are calling it looking like a UFO. I actually think the canopy looks a little bit more like a B-1 bomber, but people are calling it the UFO canopy. And so, a little whimsical addition. And I did charge up here, and where I charged was at a charge point station run by the Department of Transportation of New Mexico, and it was under a canopy as well, and it's definitely going to be appreciated in southern New Mexico to have canopy during the summertime. So canopy for sure, but UFO themed in Roswell, even better. Anyway, thanks for watching.